After 32 years, Washington peace protest comes to a brief end. NBC Politics. MSN. Outlook. More autos. My MSN. Video. Careers and jobs. Personals. Weather. Dealish. Quotes. White pages. Games. Real estate. Wonderwall. Horoscopes. Shopping. Yellow pages. Local edition. Traffic. Feedback. Maps and directions. Travel. Full MSN index. Bing. NBEnews.com. Today. Nightly news. Meet the press. Dateline. MSNBC. Breaking news. Newsbeam. Home. U.S. World. Politics. Business. Sports. Entertainment. Health. Tech. Science. Travel. Local. Weather. Advertise vertical line ad choices. Recommended. No clear path in Congress to avoiding shutdown. Recommended. After 32 years, Washington peace protest comes to a brief end. Recommended. Uncertain path forward after Obama makes his case. Recommended. Clinton. Syria relinquishing chemical weapons would be important step. Heater.top_heater background image. URL http://cdn.lib.newsbeam.com/nbepolitics/images/header.jpg D = 10,529. The latest political headlines powered by NBC News. About this blog archives email updates follow on Twitter. Subscribe to RSS. 135 comments. Print. Updated. 17 hours ago. After 32 years, Washington peace protest comes to a brief end. By Carrie Dant and Andrew Rafferty, NBC News. The longest-running protest in Washington came to an abrupt end outside the White House early Thursday morning, but then, in a dramatic turnaround, it was resurrected. For 32 years, Connie Picciotto, a tiny 77-year-old activist, has led a 24-hour vigil against nuclear proliferation from a makeshift camp in Lafayette Square next to the White House. The site was suddenly dismantled by authorities early Thursday morning after it was left gunmen overnight by a veteran amid what organizers called an episode of post-traumatic stress disorder. Not unlike the Senate filibuster, a 24-hour vigil protest must be continuously attended by someone in order to remain in place. Advertise vertical line ad choices. The man, scheduled to stay at the encampment overnight, had left the site abandoned at about 1 a.m. Thursday, in violation of National Park Service rules, prompting police to disassemble the shelter, an igloo-like tent surrounded by plywood signs. At first I felt terrible, Picciotto said when she found out the tent was removed. But now I see all these people helping to attract attention that we need to stay here. Nevertheless, I was never going to give up. I can't. By Thursday afternoon, the Park Service had allowed the site to be re-established. A long-standing vigil site on the south side of Lafayette Park was found abandoned early Thursday morning, the NPs said in a statement. The U.S. Park police officer interviewed two people as they left the site to determine whether the individuals were abandoning the vigil. With no one attending the site, the officer collected the materials and placed them in the U.S. Park Police storage facility for safekeeping until they could be retrieved by the owner. The peace vigil will return, said Michael Barksinski, the local artist affiliated with the Of the Peace House, a residence and shelter shared by peace activists who help man the site. I think they understand the sensitivity of one of our members' illness, so they re-bringing it back. Picciotto has been a near constant presence at the encampment since 1981, peppering curious tourists with information about nukes and providing a living lesson in free speech to visiting school groups. Concepcion Picciotto, who has held a 32-year protest vigil near the White House, talks to reporters after Park Police removed the Lafayette Park encampment early Thursday. She told reporters that she found out about the removal of her vigil from the protesters, who left the scene at about 4 a.m. I think he was not feeling well, she said. Regulars at the park took notice of the camp's absence. I think it's horrible for the few minutes that the tent was unoccupied that they would take it down, said Nancy Kahn, from Boston, who was there to protest the Cuban Five. Connie is an inspiration for all peace activists. Another man passing by saw the tent down and said in disbelief, well, it's gone, that has been here forever. Earlier Thursday, in a